Good morning, Reptilians. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Elle, and this is Elle's Reptiles. This week, we are doing kind of a little bit of a vlog. A couple different things we're going to talk about. I did get my... I feel like it's a little echoey in here. I did get my reptile room moved officially. Super excited about that. I now have like more of like a hallway thing going on. Anyways, we'll get to all that. We'll get to how I did that because some of you guys on Instagram were asking about how I went about moving the reptile room. I got some footage, not a lot. It was stressful, but I got some footage of that. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by iHeartGecko, so make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out all about this awesome company. Let's get started. All right, so on Sunday, we got these rooms moved around. If you commented on last Sunday's video, I only got to a few comments, so I was so busy all Sunday. But we got these rooms moved around. It was not easy. Large filled tanks are not easy to move. They are very heavy. Highly suggest having multiple people and multiple ladders if you're going to move huge stacks like these ones. A couple of things that are super important. Number one, make sure you get those animals out of the tanks before you move them. You don't want to accidentally drop tanks or anything like that. Also, if you can or if you need to, definitely make sure to get heavy items out of the tanks as well, just so they're not sliding around and bumping into glass and breaking anything. Oh, and water bowls. Remove water dishes. They add weight and they're going to make a mess. And this is the almost finished reptile room as it is now. I still do have to move a couple animals around, and I still have to do my whole bedroom. That's a work in progress. It is no longer a reptile room slash office slash packing room. It is just the reptile room, which is kind of like a hallway where my old bedroom was, and it's just, this layout is so much better in my house. So much better. Just an update on this tank. This is Morty's tank. We took the wheels off and it opened and closes fine now. The wheels, the bowing from the wheels was actually causing the middle to bow, and it was actually causing these sides to kind of bow out. So definitely will not be putting those back on. So just a quick glance at what is now this corner of my bedroom. Obviously we have a lot more to go. The entire half of the room that I'm standing on right now is still a mess, but probably just gonna leave that shelf there. Probably gonna leave all my animal artwork and my artwork up here just because it fits really nicely. This is gonna go away. That's not gonna be there anymore. Don't know what we're gonna do with it, but it's gonna go. Yeah, we need to put something around over here, but this is what we got so far. You can see the reptiles in there. There's still stuff in the floor because we're still working on it. I really like how this office, or this reptile room, now feels like a hallway. That is a board that was under here that she is licking for some reason. It is literally covered in dirt. Anyway, so yeah, I like how it fit coming through here. You can see the other tanks and stuff over there. Again, still a disaster. Coming through here and walking along here feels like a hallway now. And then my bedroom, as opposed to going through my bedroom to get to the reptile room, which is always very awkward, especially when my children have friends over and they have to like walk through another adult's bedroom to go look at animals, which was always really weird for us. So much better layout, I think. As we're moving things around, we have the iHeartGecko's tank. This tank's been set up for like 3 or 4 years now, and it's still doing so good. So now's a good time. This week's video is sponsored by iHeartGeckos. iHeartGeckos is a company that we've been working with on this channel for quite a while now, and they are a super cool company that allow you to take cheap, inexpensive tanks that you may have laying around or you may get for super cheap, yard sales, garage sales, Craigslist, all fantastic, and turn them into front opening tanks for your creatures. They have all different sizes, and I've seen people use these so many different ways. You can set them up for things like tarantulas and frogs. They don't just have to be for reptiles. And I've seen people do like total DIY things where they like turn them on their sides and use the front opening conversion kits and take this side, top part, or this one, don't know, whichever one becomes the top, take that glass panel out, put in screen for UVB. So many different things that you can do with these kits. If you do order from iHeartGeckos.com, make sure to put Elle's Reptiles in the How Did You Hear About Us box. That way they know that you guys are coming from here. Thank you so much, iHeartGeckos, for sponsoring this video. So back to the reptile room. Some of these tanks really need to be cleaned. I know water spots, so many water spots. But we have the baby Cresty. You can see him back there in all of his glory. And I noticed after I moved this tank, all the pothos roots have grown down into the bottom, which is crazy. We have Sterling and Zaz both out basking already in their new area, which is very good news for me. And we have the isopods. I don't know if these are the original adults or if these are new adults. I don't know. There's generations and generations in this little dome now. They're eating zucchini. Yeah, there's also tiny little babies. I'm not sure if you can see them in this clip, but there are tiny little babies. This isopod dome makes me so incredibly happy every time I look at it. Now the only lights I still have to set up are Dexter's. Her light's up there. I just cannot currently find the cord. And the spiders. Okay. And the spiders, this is their light. Super important in setting up this whole thing was leveling out the enclosures. My used to be bedroom, now the new reptile room, is actually built on an old patio, and so it slants downwards, so we had to actually put some wood blocks under the tanks in order to not have them topple forward when they got heavy. The one on this wall was fine because it's actually leaning very slightly backwards. We just didn't want, with this being a hallway, kids running back and forth through it and an entire enclosure stack collapse on them. Just reporting that everything was moved with only 2 light bulb casualties. Now on to some more sad news. I was going to give this a whole video, but then emotions make me uncomfortable. If you've been here for a while, you know that. About 6 months ago, it's been a very long time. I have to fully process things before I announce things, before I talk about things. Percy, the leopard gecko, did sadly pass away. I have no idea what happened, but it was a Sunday night and she was like super good all that day. I even took her out. She was climbing all over me like an hour before it happened. I had gotten some crickets for everyone, so she spent that day like chasing crickets around, eating them. There was nothing wrong with the crickets because I gave them to all the other lizards too, including my other leopard gecko, and they were all fine. Around 8-9 o'clock Sunday night, she started acting kind of weird. Like she kind of like would like do her head back and forth. I started Googling what was happening, but then she coughed up like a half digested cricket. I thought that that was fine because then she started acting normal for like the next 20 minutes walking around. I thought maybe she was just having a hard time swallowing things, which she still might have been. And then at about 9, a little after 9 o'clock Sunday night, that Sunday night, she suddenly like started almost having seizures over and over. Her pupils weren't dilating correctly. She was acting like it was hard for her to breathe. It was after 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I was panicking because there's no vets. I was going to make her a vet appointment. After in that 20 minutes she was acting kind of normal, I told Den that we needed to make her a vet appointment on Monday just to make sure everything was going okay. Like I said, 20 minutes, and she's like having seizures. She's rolling over and over. We used like a popsicle stick to open her mouth to see if there was anything like lodged. Her whole airway, like her airway was clear. She just started having seizures and her pupils weren't dilating correctly. She lost the ability to walk. So something neurological happened. I think for the next 30-45 minutes, I just sat on the floor with her, gave her water. She lost the ability to like put her tongue in her mouth. We just sat with her, gave her water, and that's all that we could do. I don't know what happened. She went from perfectly okay, running around chasing crickets, climbing up my shirt. She went from that to passing away all in under 3 hours. It was a lot, and again, if you've been here for a while, you know Percy was one of my very first reptiles. She was one of the first ones. And yeah, so sad news there. That is all that I have for this week. As always, if you haven't already, please feel free to follow me on socials, like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications every single time I put out a video, which is every Sunday. and some Wednesdays, most Sundays, some Sundays, and some Wednesdays. This week's Instagram shout out is here. This week's Twitter shout out is here. Thanks so much for liking, following, subscribing, commenting, and sharing, and all that jazz. You are the bee's knees. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. There we go. All right, and I think that one. I don't know why you keep trying to focus over there. Test. Okay.